Are we on now?
Yeah, it
Okay.
says record there.
Okay, well then I guess we start.
Yeah.
Well, where do you start? I guess maybe introduction. We introduce ourselves.
We say my name. My name is Giulia.
My name is Scott, and that's an awful Australian accent.
We have really bad Australian accents.
No. So
Welcome
that's an introduction.
to our YouTube channel. Yay! Anyways.
So let's move back. This is our first vlog.
Yes.
Our first attempt at it, what we're doing here. And we're new to this whole thing. And as you can tell, we're in Australia. If we haven't said that already, if you look out the back, you can see some nice waves back
Welcome to our bedroom.
there. Yeah, welcome to our house. This is our home. Welcome.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe we should start all the way at the beginning. You know our names. So I'm Scott. I'm 23.
You're 23.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting old. You know, I got the wrinkles.
I'm Giulia. I'm 22 years old.
Yeah.
And we are from Vancouver, BC, outside of Vancouver, but
Yeah.
if I say where I'm actually from, then nobody's gonna know where we're from, so yes.
We've been together for 5 some odd years now,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So we're, you know,
We've
kind of serious about each
we
other.
go back.
Yeah, a little ways.
Yeah.
We're semi-serious. I don't know. We're just getting to know each other still, figuring out this whole weird thing. Back home at Surrey, I mean, about a year ago, we were living totally different life than what we're living right now in the van. We had our own apartment. I had a truck. She had a car. We were both working jobs. Thought I was going to go places with the company I was with. Thought it was going to turn into something that would really grow and expand. And so we thought that we could do that, right? I mean, I had the idea that if we made enough money, we could do what we like to do on the weekends, right?
And what we like to do is nature.
Nature, travel, adventure. We love everything outside and everything that is kind of different and moving around, having some fun, which is what we're kind of doing right now. So
I was going to school trying to get my BA in anthropology while I was also working at the same time. And then I didn't really enjoy that, so I started to I had my own like soap making business where I made soap and I sold them at handmade soaps and creams for your face and all the beautiful things that can make you nice, but all natural and good and healthy for you, organic, good, healthy stuff, handmade, and selling at farmers markets, and that wasn't really satisfying me as much, mostly because I like the aspects of making this stuff more than actually like selling them.
So that's where we were.
Yeah.
We were there doing those things. And I guess we, at some point, figured that we needed a little bit of a change from doing that. We figured we needed something different. And it kind of got cemented by the fact that the place I was working at went straight downhill. Didn't start doing so well. Giulia started getting sick of doing your soap stuff, selling it off. And so we started looking at other places we could do. I mean, originally we thought we'd go for a trip and then maybe go back to school for something different. We figured maybe we'd go to Europe for a few months, drive around in a van and do that whole thing. We were planning on leaving for Europe in December though. Yeah.
So it's March now, and what we had planned before is we were going to go to Europe, to like Northern Europe, during the winter time and drive around in a van, which is still something that we want to do.
Yeah, and we'll probably do that after this.
But probably in the springtime, when it's like a mixture of like you can still go to the mountains, but it's not like freaking cold all the time.
Yeah.
And one day Scott came home and he was like, let's go to Australia.
That's what
That's exactly what he did. He just walked in the door and went, I have an idea.
So yeah, and I mean, I guess it came from, we figured we could work anywhere, and that kind of came from Europe because we found all these couples jobs and we realized that really there's no reason to be tied down in one spot working. I mean, like, I love BC. I'm kind of in love with the place where we came from.
I love BC too.
But at the same time, I haven't tried surfing yet, but I really want to. And I think I'm going to love it. I love beaches. I like all that. I love anything that's fun, anything that's outside. It's naturey.
But see, this is the thing about you and I.
What?
Because before, you hated the summer.
Yeah, well,
and I hated the winter.
Yeah.
But now we have combined together as one lover
forces.
of all seasons.
So now we love everything.
Oh, there's a wasp.
It's not a wasp, it was a moth. So we love everything now. So that's why we're here. We're in Australia. And that's kind of what I thought. No, fuck. No, fuck. We're not scared.
We're not scared of Australian
That wasn't a
bugs.
wasp. It's okay. We're good. We're back.
Totally
Anyway.
wasn't a moth.
Yeah. So
Anyways.
yeah. So we love all seasons.
Yes. Lovers
And that's
of
kind
all
of
seasons.
why we're here, because I figured, I was thinking about where we were and what we were doing, and I kind of saw myself, riding a longboard down a little sunny street going for a swim in the ocean when you're done work, you know, going surfing, catching some waves after work. I thought it didn't sound very bad, you know, it sounded pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So that's where we are now. I figured we'd go to Australia. And then we looked into working visas, and they were just easy to get from here. So we said, why not? We figured we'd go to Australia.
So we made the decision in September. In September, we started to sell off all our furniture. So we sold all of our furniture. Scott sold his truck first, his GMC Sierra, and then we sold off most of our like big furniture items. And then we started to sell off smaller things. We were working on selling off like old clothes and stuff like that.
Basically anything that we could make money for that didn't hold personal value to us. Anything that wasn't like we were personally attached to. Yeah. All the materialistic stuff we sold it all.
Yeah. So we still have, my mom is currently taking care of my kitties for us, our kitties. We still miss you. Lily,
we have two, Oscar
Lily
and Lily.
Oscar.
Our little babies.
I love them
They're
so
back home,
much.
and we'll go back to them.
I miss my babies, but it's okay. They're in good hands at home. And so we sold off all of our stuff, and then a month before we were gonna leave, we sold my car because we were still using my car.
We needed something to get around
to like get to and from work. So we did that, and then on the
the 3rd of February.
The 3rd of February.
3rd of February, we flew out. We flew to Hawaii first. We stayed there for a few days. I mean, we can read about that in our blog, but we figured out that it was a lot cheaper to fly to Hawaii first and then to Australia, doing 2 separate flights. Turned out a lot cheaper.
So it was helpful for 2 reasons. Number one, much less agony. Yeah. Because you can get flights from Vancouver to Australia, but they usually end up being like over, like the trip length ends up being like over 18 hours, which is like a lot of travel time, and nobody likes that. So it was nice. We flew to Hawaii, which took 6 hours, and then we stayed there for a couple of days, kind of like enjoy ourselves a little bit. And then it only took about 9.5 hours to fly from Hawaii to Australia. Yeah, it's pretty fast. Flew into Sydney. Yeah.
Pretty, you know, stress-free. So we got to Sydney, and we've been bumming around. And part of it, I mean, Australia in general, was we wanted to see stuff, right? We wanted to do things, and we figured out that the best way of doing that was probably to go mobile. Yeah. So we started looking into vans. We purchased the van we're in right now, Big B.
Big B!
Our big beautiful lady, and she was a little bit of a bitch before, but she's doing good now. We're doing okay, and we got a nice setup here, which we're going to show you a little later on in the video. We're going to show off our home, our little place we have here, and so far it's been great being able to move around. We've gotten to see so much different stuff already, even in the first 2 weeks of driving with her, and that's the reason why we came here, right? Was to see all the different beaches, see all the different areas.
So far we've gone from, so we bought Big B about 3 weeks ago, I'd say.
We bought the van, and there's a bunch of different, and won't get into it because we could probably fill a half-hour video with all the information you'd need to know about buying vans in Australia.
We should make a video about that.
We will. We'll make a video about that later. So let's give you the quick rundown. Basically, we bought the van. We purchased it out of state. We were in New South Wales. We bought a vehicle that was registered in Queensland. And you have to do the registration in the same state. It's easier because if you register in a different state, there's extra costs and extra, you know, checks and kind of inspections you have to get done. We're not going to go into that right now. Basically, we had to go up to Queensland from Sydney, which was about a 1,000-kilometer journey, to get the registration transferred in our name. We had 14 days to do that. So we decided we did a little road trip. I mean, we'll get into this more later on. We'll tell you a little more about the problems and stuff. But we got it done. We got our registration done, got up there, and we've just been bumming it back down the coast towards Sydney since.
Originally what we thought, since we were already going up, is that we would just, when we got to the Gold Coast in Queensland, that we would just continue going up to Cairns and then just maybe stop there and work a little bit. But what we discovered when we got to the Gold Coast, first of all,
it was rainy.
It was rainy.
Very rainy.
And a lot of rain. And for people who are from Vancouver, you know that
we didn't travel for rain.
No.
Could have stayed home for the rain.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. It rains all the time in Vancouver, and if we wanted rain, then we would have just stayed home.
Yeah, exactly. Turned around, we're headed back down towards Sydney. Yeah. And we're having a lot of fun going. I mean, one of the big reasons we're here, and one of the reasons why we're doing the vlog and everything, is because we weren't really happy with where we were at, and we decided we wanted to change things. And
not that we weren't like miserable. We just weren't as satisfied.
Yeah, really, we weren't going in the right direction. We weren't. Our end result, our end goal, wasn't really what we wanted. What we thought we wanted at the time, and I'm glad we did it. but it wasn't where we wanted to be. So we knew we wanted to go traveling. We figured, why not go to Australia? And so we started thinking about all the things we really enjoyed doing, like all the different aspects of it. I mean, travel is a big one for both of us. We both really enjoyed going on trips together. And we both love photography. I mean, you did it a lot during school. I did a little in school. I remember taking pictures when I was little too with my parents' film camera and loving it. Yeah. I've always really kind of enjoyed it, but not till the last year have I really found out how much I really like doing it.
And I did photography from grade 9 to grade 12, and I really put like everything that I had into it. I really enjoyed photography. And then in post-secondary university I did 2 semesters of photography too there. So I've always really enjoyed photography.
So she's got the know-how. She taught me how to take pictures, and since then I've just been snapping pictures of everything I can. Mostly landscapes though. I like landscapes, sunsets, sunrises, anything that's nature and animals. Like
this photography rule, and it's I will not take a picture of a person if they're posing for the picture. Yeah, I just can't do it. Candid. And it started for me when I went to Italy. I went to Italy when I was in grade 9, the summer of grade 9, to go visit my family in like the town where my parents came from. Took my parents' like old Canon film camera, and I only had 5 rolls of film to take pictures with.
Old school,
like film camera. And I had 5 rolls of film, so I planned my pictures so carefully, every single picture that I would take, and my family members would just be like, oh, you want to take a picture of us? And I'd be like, no, don't pose for my pictures. I just find that like candid pictures are always like, they always just turn out so much better of people than the posing like, hey, look at this place where I am, look at me. And I actually have because of this, I have like an actual crippling problem of not being able to let people take pictures of me. It's like I feel like they're stealing my soul from me, and every time like somebody puts a camera in front of my face, I go, what do I do with my hands?
I spend so much time trying to take pictures of her, and I have to trick her. I have to like let her walk ahead of me and not let her know that I'm going to take a picture of her, and then just like fire as fast as I possibly can to try to get a picture. Sometimes she'll let me like force her into something so I can try to get a good picture of her.
And most of the time it will be like, look over there, Giulia. Just look over there.
Look, there's a pretty bird up there.
And I'll be like, oh,
yeah, and then
I love birds.
Really realized we like video too, taking films, because we went to Sloquet, and we decided, you know, let's just try to film this. Let's try to film. We were doing a little 4x4 trip before I sold the truck. We were going up to these really pretty hot springs up there. And so we figured, why not film it? And we both kind of fell in love with it during that trip. We had so much fun. It was only a 2-day trip, but it felt like it was forever.
It is really nice to like, I really enjoy filming things and taking pictures of things, because like Scott's like, when you're in a place at a certain period of time, like you'll look somewhere and be like, that's really beautiful. But you can either look at it and be like, that's really beautiful, but then always be like, that's really beautiful, we should film that. So you end up like looking at it for longer.
Yeah, you take
like
a lot
spending
more
time in the place.
And you find a lot more stuff about wherever you are when you're doing it, because you really get into it. And instead of just being there for a few minutes, you're suddenly there for hours, and you see a lot more stuff you wouldn't see. Like we were in Nelson's Bay. I guess it was Fingal Bay really is where it was.
Fingal Bay.
And I got up early one morning where I was going to go take some pictures of the sunrise. I keep calling sunrises sunsets. Of the sunrise. So I took off down to the beach. And I mean, I thought the sunrise had already happened. It wasn't really that nice. So I took a couple pictures, turned around, and was going to head back to the car. And on my way back to the car, a woman saw me with the camera and said, oh, there's an echidna down there. I don't think I said that right. It's a little porcupine-looking creature, basically.
It's so cute. They have like anteater noses.
They're anteaters. They're little anteaters, and they're porky. And so I turned around and I headed off to take pictures. So I filmed this little guy, took some pictures of him, and then next thing I know, the sunrise started happening. And it was gorgeous, and I wound up spending about an hour down on the beach filming it, taking pictures of the waves, and seeing a lot more that I wouldn't have seen, because if I had just gone for a walk that morning, I would have gone down, noticed that it wasn't that great down there, turned around and head back to the van. Would have missed out on all that. I think that's a big thing about taking video anywhere, and that's kind of why we want to do these vlogs. We want to share what we see on a daily basis with people, and it gives us more motivation to get out there, take more pictures, take more video, and really spend a lot more time in the places that we are. I think it really pushes you, and that's kind of a cool aspect of it. That's kind of why we're doing this whole thing, so we can share and see more.
So, recap. Sold our shit.
Got rid of all of it.
Moved to a different country.
Moved house.
Bought a van.
Bought the van that you're going to see a lot more of.
This is our home. Her name is Big B. She's a 1989 Nissan Urban. She's very old.
And
yeah.
she's she's old. She has a few gassy problems. Sometimes she likes to backfire.
Yeah. So I think that's like.
But she's got a good setup.
She has gas problems, so she farts when we shut her off.
Exactly. So yeah. But so let's take you for a little bit of a ride through the van. Let's show off our new home. Welcome you into our home.
Yes.
And we'll show it off for a little bit. So let's do a little tour here, shall we?